Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Very warm welcome to another chapter of Ludhiana Management Association. We have with us a very special guest who has traveled all the way from Mumbai, Mr. Girish Vanvari. Let us give him a big round of applause. Can we have Mr. Girish join us on the dais, along with President Mr. Gaurav Munjal? Girishji, please join us on the dais. You all are very respected members from 1978 as an affiliated unit of All India Management Association, New Delhi, with the initiative of management academicians, senior executives and industrialists. The main objective of LMA is to enhance competence of member organizations through management education, to provide training and development to entrepreneurs and executives at all levels, interaction with top-notch industrialists and CEOs, and to provide a platform for management professionals and entrepreneurs to discuss their issues. Over the period, it has become as one of the most outstanding and fastest growing management association in North India, with 650 plus leading industrialists, entrepreneurs, top management executives, management academicians, bankers and professionals. LMA has been conferred with Best LMA Award for the year 2010 and again for the year 2014 on All India basis by All India Management Association, New Delhi. LMA has been led by a galaxy of eminent industrialists. We are lucky to have two past presidents, namely Shri Brij Mohan Lal Munjal ji, Chairman, Hero Motocorp Limited, and Mr. S.P. Oswal, Chairman, Vardhman Group, who have been awarded Padma Bhushan, while past President Mr. Rajinder Gupta, Trident Group, has been awarded Padma Shri. Some of the past keynote speakers have been His Excellency Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the past President of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Shri P. Chidambaram, Shri K.V. Kamath, Mr. Anand Mahindra, Mr. T.N. Session, Mr. Arun Jetli. We have been blessed to have Mr. Shri J.J. Irani, Mr. Shekhar Gupta, the journalist, Dr. Montek Singh Aluwalia, Shri Jairam Ramesh, Mrs. Kiran Bedi, Padma Bhushan Shri Sunil Bharti Mittal ji, General V.P. Malik, and the list is quite long. His Excellency, the Governor of Punjab, has always been kind enough to be the chief guest on our annual days for the last 29 years, which is a blessing for LMA to have a bouquet of flowers. Thank you so much, Mr. Goel. It is a pleasure to introduce our speaker for the day, Mr. Girish Vanvari. He is a distinguished chartered accountant with over 3 decades of experience spanning taxation, corporate finance, M&A, valuations, restructuring, and corporate governance. Girish ji is the founder of Transaction Square with practical, solution-oriented insights. Before founding Transaction Square in 2018, Girish began his career with Arthur Andersen and went on to spend nearly 14 years at KPMG India as National Tax Head, where he played a pivotal role in building and leading on the boards of several leading listed and unlisted companies, including Aurobindo Pharma, Kotle Patil Developers, Blue Jet Healthcare, RateGain Travel Technologies, among others. In the boardroom, he is widely respected for his financial discipline, regulatory insight, and sound business judgment, contributing meaningfully across audit committees, risk management, capital allocation related party transactions, and governance frameworks. A regular speaker at professional forums and ICAI platforms, Girish brings thoughtful perspectives on governance, strategy, and decision making in an increasingly complex regulatory environment. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Girish Vanvari. We welcome you, sir. Please.
Oh, thanks, Shuman. Thanks, Gaurav. You know, what I've attempted to do is a simple presentation which covers three aspects. Three aspects. Where are we moving as a world? Where are we moving with the budget? And more importantly, I also saw that wives were invited to this gathering. More importantly, I meet a lot of husband and wives, children and parents in my family office part of the practice. What are the things they're asking me? What are the things bothering them? So I've tried to cover some of those things which you can relate to so that when you go back, you can think about it and hopefully help yourself as you take your family journeys forward. So coming back to where we are, if you really see, there is turmoil everywhere. Good also does not last long, bad also does not last long. So it's a changing world. Tomorrow morning, Trump will again get up and say, I will put another 20% tariff. So you cannot feel happy that tariff is now gone. And Greenland, Venezuela, we've seen history. We all studied history. Some studied Aurangzeb, some studied Shivaji. Now we are actually studying history. Greenland, Iran, Venezuela. These are kind of things I think seniors, juniors, even my children have not seen. Now they are seeing. We've seen a live war also last year. Iran also sometimes building up of navy around Iran, sometimes different kinds of things. It's like a movie. Ukraine, Russia going on for 4 years. China, Taiwan. Taiwan is the biggest manufacturer of semiconductors. If Taiwan is attacked by China, the world will collapse. It's very, very important. But I think if you look at the whole turmoil part, the two turmoil which is very worrying is one, the Iran, because oil gets impacted. And second is the India, Bangladesh, Pakistan. The triangle is looking very dangerous. Bangladesh, West Bengal, and India, Pakistan is never stable. So there's turmoil everywhere, and there's a turmoil which will be continuously everywhere. Now the way things are, and it is in personal lives, it is in professional lives. And if you look at the industry specific impact, AI, lots of things we are doing are becoming automated, facilitated. AI is taking over our lives and different aspects of life. A car has become it's a personal machine. It's not a car. It's like it has all AI gadgets, all linked up things, and everything is becoming AI oriented. Automatic parking our cars have. Everything is AI driven. And in that AI, the whole thing is changing. Manufacturing, China plus is the real opportunity. Domestically, everything is full. Yesterday I came from Bombay. Each and every seat was full. Tomorrow I'm going back. Crazy fares, 15,000 rupees going back to Bombay. So hotels, everything is full. Domestically, everything is. You saw that Simla and Manali, and I would never go to Simla and Manali in my life after what I saw. Like as if the whole world was there. Everything is full. Some people are showing snow for the first time, enjoying being stuck for 12, 15 hours. And so domestic demands are very, very strong. India is becoming the pharmacy of the world. Pharma companies are looking very good. Focus on energy is very, very strong. Renewables. Uh, I'll tell you, if one sector we have to get into, it's energy. It's energy. If you see, you touch your phone after every half an hour, it's hot. The phone is hot. There are so many apps going on within the phone. If I say chicken, chicken 5 times, Swiggy will throw out chicken restaurants. So that's no, and it's a truth. I'm not, and the phone needs to be charged 3-4 times. So much power goes, and the biggest sector beneficiary of AI is power, because everything is processing, data storage, renewables, solar, wind, uh, transformers. So the whole solar energy sector is getting differently looked at because of this AI impact. People are losing jobs, but new jobs are getting created. It's a changing world, turmoil, changing world with lots and lots of opportunity. Why did the markets go down? Markets went down because rupee was unstable. Why was rupee unstable? Because markets went down. Because markets went down, FII sold, money went down, rupee became unstable. Because rupee became unstable, FII sold more. So it's a vicious cycle. Uh, so FPI outflows, currency fluctuations uh, really happen. US tariffs 18% now. It's real. So US tariff, the 25% has gone away. So hopefully things will look better. EU deal has also happened. Lots of things to the EU will be tax free now. Lots of things, cycles, lots of textiles, jewelry will be tax free. So big opportunity to sell across EU. But of course, US is the biggest market, because you go to one market, you can sell. In EU, you have to go to multiple countries to sell. So very, very important. China, Taiwan, it's a new dimension. I hope nothing happens there. And of course, the Red Sea shipping crisis, you have to move towards South Africa. So supply chains are becoming unpredictable. So the macros today, the way I see it is, the crux is how will rupee stabilize, 91, 92, 93, and that is all dependent upon FPIs. And if rupee stabilizes, things should look okay. Geopolitical fragmentation and realignment, very, very important. New relationships are getting set, new relationships are getting developed, multiple channels of relationships. So businesses dependent upon particular countries, very dangerous. You have to diversify your exposure to countries, because you don't know. India may not have a great relationship with somebody, and then the whole business model can fail. Take Turkey, for example, goes through ups and downs with India. So multiply your stuff. Trade policies are threats and opportunities. So you have to have teams in your companies to understand what it means to you. Technology is very, very important, and cyber frauds and various kind of things. So people getting calls like, I'm the CBI officer, ED officer. Very, very careful. Please take training for your children and take training for your parents, because they are the biggest targets of anything going wrong on cyber. Like, please sit with them, tell them not to panic. Will the stock markets go up? Will the markets move up? Markets are looking very, very good after the US tariffs. The markets are rewarding companies with earnings visibility, which have balance sheet strength and good governance. Good governance. Good governance. So markets are looking very, very robust to go up. If the FPI flight stops, if the what will happen on currency stability? Hopefully, with Trump tariffs, as of today, it looks okay. Things will look better. And people were saying they just made words, but yesterday I saw the notification also wherein things are looking better. There are big credible marquee listings. Now, how many of you have NSE shares here? All would have, right? Most of the HNI community has NSE shares. NSE is the biggest listing which is targeted. Reliance Jio, PhonePe, mega blockbuster IPOs lined up for this year. Very worrying, because Uh, I don't know HDB financials, whether people invested. It opened 50% of what the unlisted price was. So the biggest fear people have is that will NSE also become like that? Like everybody is so bullish about NSE. LIC everybody was so bullish about, but LIC never went up beyond its listing price. So whenever anything is hyped, the fear also follows. So big credible marquee listing ahead. Cleaner structures and better regulatory management, very important. SEBI is very, very, because a lot of people from this region come to me for IPOs, come to me for SME IPOs, clean companies, good balance sheets, good structures is what will work. Chaos and complex structures will not work as we look ahead. Many people also come to me that, now, how do you look at a company? You have to look at a company for growth. You have to look at profit path plus governance, and not just GMV stories, gross market, merchandise value. Like loss-making consumer tech, loss-making businesses, which have no profit path or governance, will not do well, because what will do well is quality of earnings, good governance, and really what moat do they carry? Like Zomato, for example, the moat it carries. I personally think in the next 5-6 years, Zomato will be the biggest. He has a huge moat. So moat is something which others can't do. It's your unique advantage. Whatever you can do will get disrupted. What you have unique advantage for, you'll get a market premium. So really, big blockbusters IPO focused on governance, focused on the right things. Things are looking very, very poised to look well. But bad governance, no profitability path, no vision will get hammered. So you'll have as many successful IPOs as many as bad IPOs. And some IPOs are trading at 40% of their listed price, 50% of the listed price. So please do not get swayed by any marketing which comes your way. Evaluate everything with what I just said, and there is AI to evaluate everything for you. You don't even need to know all the subject. Have AI assistants and you can do whatever you want and decide what is the right path. Valuations for IPOs are the highest, but is private equity a path to a successful IPO? And do not get swayed by presentations. The one who's good at private equity will come and tell you private equity is the best. The one who does only IPOs will come and say IPO is the best. And maybe nothing is good for you. You may just want to continue with what you are without raising money also. Go through the pros and cons very, very carefully. Private equity comes with its own board seats, veto rights, governance. IPO has its own responsibilities. Both have their pros and cons. Weigh in things before you take a call and take a proper decision. But the ones who want to do private equity or an IPO, it's important to structure yourself before that. Many of you have houses in the company, cars in the company, even aircrafts in the company. Take it out, which you want to make public a part of before you go IPO private equity. You should do that restructuring exercise, cleaning up exercise before you go ahead and raise money. So I would say, should you raise money? If you have a growth plan, you should. IPO or private equity, case-to-case basis, markets will value you the most. But both private equity stroke IPO have their own obligations also with it. Understand it, clean up your company, and then be ready to go for it. So if you look at budget, before you go to the budget, I'll tell you where the world is headed. World is headed to substance over form. World is headed to extreme AI integration. In Singapore, you don't need more than 10 minutes to file your tax return. Whatever financial transactions, see my income tax portal. In your income tax portal, when you see, there is something called an annual information statement. It's called AIS. It will surprise you, the transactions which it is covering. It covers each credit card transaction, each banking transaction, each trade which you've done, each right or wrong thing you've done. There is no scope for not paying taxes. And it's all AI integrated into your return filing. So everything is substance over form. Anybody who comes and says, दुबई कंपनी बना दो, उसने किया है, यहाँ पैसे भेज दो, वहाँ पैसे भेज दो, ईडी इंक्वायरी होगी. Because it's all linked. It will not happen today, it will not happen tomorrow, it will happen 4 years down the line where you don't even have the papers to do it and you'll be sweating once the ED inquiry summons come. So everything is integrated in AI, everything is integrated. This case is very important. People say how, everybody says how to save tax, how to save tax. So Bini Bansal, very intelligent man, he sold shares of Flipkart. Some intelligent consultant told him that, you're selling shares, go to Singapore, become a tax resident of Singapore, go with your family, and then sell the shares. It's tax free if you sell it from Singapore. Go tomorrow, stay there for 1 year, then come back after you sold the shares. So Bini Bansal did that, based on intelligent advice. Bini Bansal's case got rejected by the tax office that this is all bogus. Your parents are here, your house is here, you built a company here, you've come back here after not paying taxes, you should pay full taxes. And he has been levied with penalties and interest. So crazy advice which doesn't appeal to common sense, crazy advice which lacks substance, abhi wo zamana chale gaya. Be very, very careful. And it's a public shame, Bini Bansal. Like itna bada aadmi ke upar itna bada case, no point. So be careful. Similarly happened to Tiger Global. Tiger Global case also saved taxes similarly. Singapore structure, US fund having Singapore structure, no commercial rationale for being in Mauritius, investing in Walmart, which is Flipkart, Singapore, no commercial rationale. It got rejected why should a US company not directly invest in Singapore and India? Why did it invest in Singapore via Mauritius? Clever tax planning, but got rejected. A Supreme Court decision got rejected. So these two decisions, if you look at the budget, everything is substance over form, everything is AI integrated. They know what food also you're eating. Be very careful. Try and do things which you can defend. Again, this comes. So the budget has to be looked at into the light where the world is moving. There's a new Income Tax Act, Simplified Income Tax Act. I think in 3-4 years we will have no requirement of a tax consultant. I don't know, there may be CAs here. Routine compliance will be automated by AI. Then if you look at it, there is an overhaul required for foreign investments into India. So the budget says that we will overhaul the FDI policy of the country, which means insurance, defense, pharma will be liberalized further. That's what they are saying. More money will be attracted to the country, which is important because then the capex will happen and so on, everything will happen. There is lot of compliance which is facilitated. Due dates for filing returns, due dates for filing revised returns, the advance to be paid for fighting a tax demand is reduced from 20 to 10. Lots of places where it's made easy for people to comply with the law. Lots of places. If you look at lot of sectors, Viksit Bharat, financial sector reforms they want to do, they will study. And if you saw the newspapers, PFC and REC are merging. It came after the budget. So big reforms will happen in the government sector for financial services. IDBI also, bids have been received. So financial sector is looking to be very, very reform oriented where things will happen. Lot of measures targeted for large-scale development and upgradation of public infrastructure. FII money is attracted from 5 to 10%. promotion to tourism, medical tourism, aircrafts, lots of things which make domestic economies more attractive, and really lots of things in the budget to accelerate growth, service sector, so on and so forth. MSMEs, lot of concessions, you know, colleagues to do tax compliance, secretarial compliance, uh, more enhanced payments, enhanced facilities of loans, lots of stuff in the budget. Budget was overall very good, but because the STT went up, the budget got hammered. Next day, the tariffs went away. Then the market became stable, and now it's stable and it will be on the upward trend as more and more consolidation of what they spoke about happens. So overall, looking very, very good. Lot of reforms in the budget as as anticipated. So if you see for the capital markets, two things are very important. Two things. Most of us earn money in FDs and dividends on shares. You give declarations to the various companies to not withhold tax or withhold tax at a lower rate. You have to go to all the companies today to give declarations. Suppose if I have shares in 100 companies, I have to give declarations to 100 companies. The law has changed. The law says that you don't need to go to 100 companies. Just give the declaration to NSDL and CSDL, and they will give it to all the companies. That's a very big thing for older people in the room who actually have FDs, who have dividend income, and it's easier now to comply with the tax exemptions or lower tax withholding for those kind of incomes. Other important part is that sovereign gold bonds. We all have sovereign gold bonds. Sovereign gold bonds, to get a tax exemption, you have to subscribe and sell on maturity. So trading of sovereign gold bonds, which was happening, which was taking the price of sovereign gold bonds up, will not be tax exempt. So this is a move to curb speculation in the sovereign gold bond market. So now you have to buy when it is issued and hold till you redeem. Otherwise, the tax exemption will go away. So anybody who wants to buy sovereign gold bonds now, you can still buy it till the budget comes into effect, which is April 1, 2026. STT rates went up. That's not very good news for the market. The biggest amendment to the market is buyback of shares. What drives a stock price up is a company with good growth and good management of capital, which is called return on capital employed. Return on capital employed is dependent upon how effectively you can invest your capital to get a return. Many companies have good profits, good cash profits, but they don't have avenues to invest. So rather than keeping the money in the company and showing a poorer return on capital employed, it's good to give the money back to the shareholders. You give the money back to the shareholders either as dividends or as buyback of shares. Lots of IT companies are getting a better net worth by giving the money back to the shareholders as buyback of shares. So if you see Infosys, TCS, every year they have buyback of shares. First buyback of shares were taxable as dividends. Now the law has changed to say buyback of shares will be taxed as capital gains tax. There's a higher rate for the promoter, but there's a cost base available. So I would say more and more money coming back to the shareholders from cash-rich companies through this amendment. So this amendment is very good for the shareholders because buybacks will become more and more efficient as a means of getting the tax free money back to the shareholders. For companies who are in minimum alternate tax, 15% rate has become 14%, which is good because the MAT rate has gone down. And then there is a facility to transition to the new scheme. So there are two schemes there are two schemes under the companies taxation. One is a scheme of higher taxation of 35%, second is 22% per surcharge, 25%. MAT credit is not available for the 25% scheme, it's available for the 35% scheme. Now you can transition the MAT credit to the 25% scheme, get the benefit of the 25% scheme and also use the MAT partially. So it's a big amendment for people to transition to a lower tax rate, also use MAT, and rates also have gone down from 15 to 14%. So this is for companies who have MAT credits. This is an important amendment for people who have international assets. Under law, if you have international assets, if you have international bank accounts, if you have international shares, if you have international board seats or if you're a beneficiary of an international trust or have direct or indirect interest in any international trust, you have to disclose all this in your return of income. Many people forget to disclose it. Some out of ignorance, some out of deliberate. So there's a penalty and prosecution for failure to disclose. So all these Panama papers and all the notices and summons which come are leaks from places where information comes from overseas that you've got an account which you've not disclosed. So if you've got an account which you've not disclosed, there's a scheme to come out clean. The scheme to come out clean is on disclosures. The scheme to come out clean is on non-reporting of the income. So this scheme details will come out in the next few days. But if you are a person who has international assets, directorship, or any of the beneficial interest and have forgotten to disclose it, please look at the scheme and make sure you come out clean. It's a good opportunity. Up to 5 crores, if you're owning assets not disclosed, you could get away with 1 lakh of penalty. Up to 1 crore where income is not disclosed, pay your tax on that income, pay some penalties and get out of that, rather than being prosecuted or have a summons which can be painful in the future. The due dates for filing of ITRs has extended. First, it was 31st July for people in business and profession and did not require the accounts to be audited. Now it's gone to 31st of August. And there are series of things which makes offenses decriminalized, where prosecution has gone away, where penalties have got reduced. The idea is for people to cooperate and people to pay their taxes in time. For people who want to build family offices, Gift City is a very, very viable option. First, the tax exemption was 10 out of 15 years. Now the tax exemption is 20 out of 25 years. So if you looked at Gift City to make overseas investments, please study that hard. There's a tax exemption waiting for you to take, and you can actually build an international portfolio. In whatever meetings I sit, I always tell clients that make 10-20% of your wealth global, because then only you will insulate yourself from country specific crisis. Otherwise, all eggs in one basket and you will find it difficult. So family offices, Gift City, very, very important. It's got further promoted. It's got further promoted in the budget. And as I said, what is the budget good for? It provides tax certainties to IT companies. There's a framework to reduce disputes for IT companies so that more and more global companies can set up offices in India and they can make India a GCC or a IT hub and actually create more jobs. So the transfer pricing amendments facilitate people to come out and set up more and more facilities in India and create more and more jobs in India. Similarly, the tax holiday for data centers, like for a Google to set up a data center in India, create jobs. So Google is tax exempt till 2047. So that is also very, very important. Data center exemption can create lots of jobs, because this is the first time the tax office has given a 20-year tax exemption till 2047. And if Google sets up a data center, any other company, NVIDIA sets up a data center, they can get 10-15 lakhs jobs by that data center, which can be a global data center for all the other countries they want to service. Similarly, For electronic, there is a tax exemption when goods move from overseas to India bonded warehouse. They want to attract international investors who can come here and actually work 5 years. They have a tax exemption for their global income. So foreign talent is welcomed in India so that for the next few years, for 5 years, they don't have to pay taxes, and they are actually encouraged to come to India, and there will not be any global taxation for them for 5 years. Similarly, there are provisions for rare earth, wherein India wants to be strategically indispensable in some rare earths, so exemptions for mining of rare earths and so on and so forth. Then again, everything what I see, assessments, penalties, prosecutions is there's only fine up to 10 lakhs, simple imprisonment, not rigorous imprisonment. Everything is facilitating getting down the criminalization of offences less, which is the act is becoming more and more practical, because not paying income tax is not a criminal offence. It's like it's ridiculous to say it's a criminal unless you have an SFIO sort of a situation. It's ridiculous. So the budget, if you see, there's nothing much in the budget but simplification of various penalties, prosecution provisions, besides the buyback and the other stuff which I spoke about. No change at individual level, no inheritance tax, HNI taxation has not gone up, everything remains stable. So there is nothing which fluctuates for the HNIs who are in this room in the budget. Indirect taxes, reduction in tariffs rates on duty for personal use has gone down from 20 to 10. So a lot of personal use items now will have a customs duty of only 10%. Customs has got totally rationalized. Lots of things have been out of customs duty, like medicals, cancer drugs. There is lots of changes which facilitate import of goods into the country, especially ones which are strategically important to India. So really, a turmoiled world, AI, lots of changes, huge domestic demand, huge aspirations, global market, trade deals happening, business is looking good. But we have to be dealing with uncertainties because life is unpredictable and things will go up and down. So what are the people talking to me? What are people curious about? People are curious about the fact that everybody thinks they are paying very high taxes, 39%. Luxury goods are very expensive. People are also talking to me that, I have this ED notice for non-disclosure. People are saying that, should I go to Dubai? Should I go to Singapore? Should I go here? Should I go there? Oh, my friend has taken a golden visa. Should I take a golden visa? Oh, YPO is giving a golden visa to everything. I don't know whether Ludhiana Association does that, but so a lot of questions. Should I take a golden visa? Should I do this? Should I do that? Then, oh, children abroad, my daughter is going abroad, my son is going abroad. How do I provide for their fees? How do I provide for cancer treatment, so on and so forth. A lot of people are talking about different aspects. It's an integrated world. So FEMA tax and so on and so forth. And estate planning, trust banao, will banao, kya karo, like family charter, so on and so forth. People are talking to me all these things, and they are absolutely engaged with many, many things. So if you look at each thing one by one, do you have a will? Does everybody in the room have a will? No? You saying no. If you don't have a will, what happens? If you die without a will, and we all are Hindus, I think, mostly in this room. If you die without a will, what happens? If you die without a will, what happens? Everybody gets an equal share. So your wife, your children get an equal share, which may be unintentional, because some people want their businesses to go only to their children. Some people want only their house to go to the wife. But everybody gets an equal share. Even your son gets an equal share in the jewelry, which you don't want to. Even your daughter gets an equal share in the company shares, which you may not want to. So if you die without a will, everybody gets an equal share. That's not the consequence you want. So I think everybody at whatever age, because age is not a barrier. We've seen an AI crash. We also see, I thought, at least in my own ecosystem of so many clients and people, I see somebody below 50 dying every week. इसको हार्ट अटैक आ गया, इसको क्या हो गया. So age is not a barrier. Everybody should have a will. Husband should have a will, wife should have a will. Husband should make a will sitting with the wife, not devoid of the wife. And they should be talking about their will to their children. No secrets. As a family, you must have your will. Very, very important. I encourage that to everybody. Do you have a living will? You know what is a living will? You heard of a living will? You know? No. Living will is death by choice. Death by choice. Death by choices that suppose if you get paralyzed, suppose if you, for the older people, suppose if you, many people are self-respecting. You don't want your, shit to be cleared by a attendant. So if you get paralyzed, if you're on bed, rather than putting yourself on a ventilator, people do living wills. That's there are Supreme Court decisions now which say living will is legitimate in India. It actually says that it's dealt by dignity. It's dealt by dignity. You can register your living will with your doctor, and you can, when the time comes, your children can go and use that living will to actually let you die with grace and dignity. Because people want dignity. People want dignity. So do you have a will? I mean, if you don't have a will, you have not thought about a living will. I see people doing living wills also today. Yes, yes. So strange, Anshul, I don't know whether you know. My father had a living will. My father had a living will, because somehow he thought about it, that should he be at a stage wherein I have to put him on a life-saving thing, I should not say no. So my father, when we had to deal with him, we had to take a decision, should we put him on a ventilator? We said no, and we showed that living will with the magistrate to the doctor. So you should do it. I would like to have death by grace. I don't want somebody to touch me and, we all living with respect, right? So it's legal. It's legal. Do you have global assets? Do you have global assets? If you don't, you should create global assets. LRS schemes should be used because it is good to have global assets. It's good to diversify your portfolio. Don't only think of India FDs. Think about Singapore FDs also, maybe safer. Never know. Have global assets. Have you donated your organs? How many of you have donated your organs? Yeah, very, very important. Should be encouraged. We don't think about it because your eyes can give eyes to somebody else. Have a will, have a living will, donate your organs. And I saw only 4-5 people putting their hands up. It's very easy. You can put it in there's a website of it. Just very simple to do it. Do it. But clients come to me, with these kind of things. So if you are doing a will, make sure that you do your will properly. Pick somebody trustworthy and organize. Choose someone likely to outlive you. So don't do with old people, do with young people. The biggest mistake you do is hire retired people in your board. Never hire retired people in your board. Hire people who have energy, who are younger to you. Elder people should be in mentorship role. So if you're making a will, if I was making a will, I will make Anshul. Anshul is 40, I am 50. So he will outlive me. What is the point of having somebody who's 60? No point. And we all keep our friends in executor of wills, but have younger people, choose somebody who will outlive you, update your choice after major life changes, keep changing it, look for impartiality and emotional stability. Somebody should not get carried away, and ensure that they have the time for you. Don't make a busy person the executor of your will. He'll not have time for you. Have somebody who has time, who has age. Don't be choosing on sentiments, choosing someone financially. Don't do that. Have somebody who's skin in the game. Appoint somebody who is devoid of any family conflicts. You just have to make sure that you choose the right person to do all this. Don't go only with friendship. Go with capability. Go with somebody who will be there for you. Will is, it's not mandatory to register a will. It's something you can change every 6 months. I change my will every year. I have a will. I change it every year. I sit with my wife and do it because children are also growing. Some will get married. Some may go overseas. So I just want to keep evolving my wishes. My charities keep changing because I may want a cause to be included. So keep changing. Registration, if I register it, I have to keep registering, re-registering, no point. Making a will is tax-free. Getting something in a will is also tax-free. So there's no penalty for making a will at all. Make a will. Some people also, on the fear of inheritance tax, make a trust. Make a trust. How does a trust work? I will first look at the types of trust. First is a revocable trust. A trust where somebody who is contributing can get all his assets back. Second is a trust when you give an asset, you don't get it back. So a lot of people who come and market trust to you tell you to form a trust. Say Gaurav, for example, because we saw him on the dice. Gaurav forms a trust for his children. He makes an irrevocable trust for his children. Gaurav is not a beneficiary of the trust. Gaurav makes his wife and his children beneficiary. So Gaurav has given away his wealth to his wife and children. Then that intelligent wealth manager will tell you, but Gaurav, you'll be the trustee of the trust and you'll control all the wealth till you're alive. In reality, if his children and his wife come together, they can throw him out. That's what happened in Vijaypal Singhania's case. So a revocable trust is something where you can get your asset back. An irrevocable trust is something where you are at from your, you become like this. Because the asset goes away to your children. So based on control, this is how the trust is. Trust is private or public. Private means something which you make for your family. Public means when you make for a charitable purpose. You can make a living trust. You can make a trust which comes upon your death. Living trust is not like living will. Living trust is, Gaurav makes a trust, Gaurav is a beneficiary of the trust. Should he die, his children and wife becomes the beneficiary of the trust. What's the advantage of doing that? Advantage of doing that is, suppose if Gaurav has 100 assets, if he dies, sorry Gaurav, not that way, if he dies, his children have to go to 100 places to get the assets transferred. If they are in the trust, they don't have to run around. Automatically, they become the beneficiary of that trust. So automatically, they have 100 assets which are in one structured format. And they don't have to run around to get the assets transferred. That's the advantage of a living trust. So if at all you make a trust, you must make a living trust, which is you are the beneficiary. Never give away wealth till you are alive. Never. Nobody. I get 10 people who come to me, 9.5 go back saying, "Acha, samajh liya, baad mein aayenge." And rightfully so. Like, till my father was alive, he owned everything. Why will he give it up? Should not. You have to be very sure. And if you have 100 crores, you may give 2 crores up. But if you have 100 crores, you will not give 100 crores up. So, living trust, very, very important. Then you have trust to protect yourself against loan, personal guarantees, something going wrong in your business. In that case, do a living trust. Living trust. So Gaurav, in your example, Gaurav makes a trust. Gaurav beneficiary, after him his children beneficiary, wife beneficiary. That is protected for any litigation. Nobody can sue that trust. Because that's not Gaurav's wealth. That is the trust's wealth. And similarly, sometimes people come to me, I don't know whether I want to give my daughter equal. Some families, I'll tell you, say South Indian families. In South Indian families, wealth is ancestral, lineal descendant. So daughter, son equal. Daughter can give it to her children. So it's like they treat everybody खून. Gaurav की बेटी का लड़का, Gaurav का लड़का, Gaurav की लड़के की बेटी. They all ancestral खून. They all get an entitlement to the wealth. In some Marwari Baniya families, it is like women get the assets other than the business, men get the business. So you can decide how you want to construct your trust. Both are right. I mean, it's a cultural thing, but both are things to be taken care of. So should you make a trust, living trust, not trust? Decide carefully. Will you must make for sure. But just don't make the trust because X has done it or Y has done it. And don't be fooled into conversations that trust में सब दे दिया. मैं trustee बन गया, कुछ नहीं, they will be thrown out. It will be thrown out. Don't do that. Be very, very careful. And if you have global wealth, if you have, assets across the world, in Dubai house, suppose in Dubai, suppose you die without a will. You have a house in Dubai. Everybody said, Dubai में घर लेते हैं, अच्छा है, बहुत. And if you die without a will in Dubai, then the Sharia law applies. In the Sharia law, percentage goes away to the government. So you have to make a will and register it with the Dubai authorities. It's called DFIC, Dubai authorities. And register the will saying that I want to deal with my Dubai property like this. So if you have global assets, have different wills for different assets, different trusts for different assets. You have to think through this whole thing, not just rush into any conclusions. Should you make a living trust? I encourage people to make a living trust. Will mandatory, trust maybe, but trust which gives away everything to your children, highly risky in today's environment. Because you don't know who your children will marry, you don't know how many times they will marry, you don't know how many, I get crazy things like, oh, we are going to be living in, so if you have children, how do you insulate them from the wealth? Because these are all questions. Law has not tested them. And these are real questions happening today. It's not, these are real life situations like which is happening today. So how do you deal with it? So coming back to the live-in trust, so first you go back, see what type of trust you want to make, list down all your assets and do it with your wife, do it with your spouse, don't do it alone. Always do wealth management. You should have a family council. Like I sit with my children and my wife every months and run them to the wealth the family has. Suppose something happens to me, they should know. They should know. They should not run around. And I should also know what's happening to their wealth. Because then the discipline sets in. Don't do it alone. Do it with your family. Choose the trustees wisely. Draft the trust deed very, very carefully. Fund the trust properly. Really make it a proper organized thing. Like how you have a business plan for your businesses which you successfully run. Have a personal family office plan also for the assets which you own. Some people also create a testamentary trust. What is a testamentary trust? Suppose if I feel that, I have assets, but I'm not sure whether I should give it to my children. I want to put it in a trust so that the children get beneficial interest of that. What happens typically is like, suppose if I have 100 crores, if I die, I may not want to give 50 crores to my two children because they may blow it up. Or I have seen women in families, they get pressure from their in-laws. तुम ये साइन कर लो, बिजनेस में इतना प्रॉब्लम है, नहीं तो हम लोग मर जाएंगे या मैं खून ले लूँगा, and then they sign anything and give it up under pressure of their in-laws. If it's in the trust, then only out of 50 crores maybe income can be given to you because the capital is preserved. Nobody can trick you out of it. No emotions can take it away from you. So sometimes people also, rather than giving it under a will, you create trust under a will and let the wealth go gradually. I've done cases where wealth goes at 40 years X, at 50 years Y, because our goal is to provide for our children and not let it go away. So I see a lot of people doing testamentary trust also, which is important. Should I migrate overseas to Dubai, Singapore, London, West Indies, Cayman Islands, like silly stuff? I always tell clients that migrate only if your business takes you there, if your family takes you there. Don't migrate for tax planning. You'll become Bini Bansal. Don't migrate for tax planning. Should you migrate? Certainly you must. but do it for business reasons, personal reasons, not for tax reasons. Anybody who comes to you that, I think you'll save taxes, go and stay in West Indies. Stupid. Stupid. You will have Bidhi Bansal case on you. Don't do that. But if somebody comes to you, go to Dubai, build a career, of course do it. No problem. Should you migrate overseas? For personal and business reasons, not for tax reasons. Should I create global wealth? Should I buy Dubai home? Should I buy London house by the Thames? Of course you must buy. But buy it rightfully. I have cases where people say, I have a listed company, it has a subsidiary in London, let's buy a house there through this company. Chalo kharid liya. Then they will say, how to use the house that belongs to the company? No, use it as a guest house. We all will go there and stay. And we will stay there forever. Guest house means what Gaurav is staying, Anshul is staying, Shobhan is staying, and there's a register saying Gaurav stays for 5 days, Shobhan stays for 5 days, Anshul stays for 3 days. They keep rotating. When the ED comes, all the register is not there. It only shows that you are staying there. You have 4 ayahs also staying there with you, 4 servants staying with you, only doing your work. And you have big demands and notices. So have a house, have a property, but build it the right way. It cannot be built in a company which has business. That company can only do business through that property, cannot buy property for you to stay personally. Do it through the LRS scheme with proper planning. Don't do crazy stuff. Should I make a family office? How many of you have a family office? None in Ludhiana. Family office. Should I make a family office? Of course you must make a family office. In a person's life, Gaurav is an example. Because he is sitting in front of me, so I'm making him an example of everything. In a person's life, a family office has to exist. In a person's life, there are 3 buckets he is running. First is the management of his company. Second is the advisory council of his board of directors, which is guiding him to run the business. And third is the family council, which is like children sitting together. How should we plan for the wedding? How should we plan for the education? How should we grow the family together? How should we make the family know interplay on what is happening in the business so that they know should something happen to them and the companies are institutionalized. Family office is the first part, which is the family council part. So you must have a family office. You don't need to have a formal structure, but you must have conversations where to invest wealth, grow wealth, how much should you grow wealth, and so on and so forth. And this has to be outside your companies. This is your war chest for anything which can go wrong in your company. So I encourage people to actually set up a family office, put some money in it, some properties in it, and that's your safety nest, and grow it with the family in an organized IRR manner so that things keep growing. Do I stop, or you tell me whenever you want me to stop? Okay. Just conscious on time, that's it. Yes. Yes, that's my next slide. Family office can be a company, very poor structure. Family office can be a LLP or a trust. And in some cases, there are AIF also as family office, like Premji Invest has AIF as a family office. So I would encourage people to have a LLP or a trust as a family office. A common pool to invest money, which is governed by the family. And they know how to invest, where to invest in a structured manner. And in that, you must have all categories of assets, gold, cryptos, whatever you want to have, but balanced portfolios, not extreme portfolios. Balanced portfolios. So family office helps you in wealth management, helps you in estate planning, help you in family governance, very, very important, and also risk management. It's important. Elders always said we must have land. Why? Why? Because you don't fidget with it. You can't speculate with the land. Whereas stock markets, that day in Bombay, we are all very used to local trains, right? Because Suppose if I have to go to Nariman Point for a meeting, at times when the traffic is high, I would take a local train and tell my driver to reach there straight. So I took a local train, which was around, I think a week back or 10 days back. And I got a sitting place on the local train, and there were 5 people around me. All were doing stock market trades, derivatives, buying and selling, two phones using. So speculation, you can lose everything. Speculation. So balanced portfolios are very, very important. Land, you can't speculate. You can't buy and sell land. No. Gaurav, you can't. No, you have to wait. You can't buy and sell properties so easily, stamp duty and all. Whereas stocks can go at a click, buy and sell, and you speculate. So you have to have balanced portfolios. India, overseas, you have to have balanced portfolios. Which economy will look good? We don't know. So we have to have balanced global portfolios. That's very important. So it should be a LLP, should be a trust, whatever it is, but it could be there. Investment vehicles I covered. There are tax differences. LLPs are better than the company. Company has 2 layers of tax. And if you look at for each asset classes, there could be different kinds of structures. Real estate could be through a LLP. Equity shares could be a AIF LLP. Overseas assets, GIFT City, please study for people who have significant wealth. Partnership firms, metals, paintings, antiques, all that should be documented, registered, insured, whatever it is, so that you structurally manage it. GIFT City is very, very important. Please study it. Please study it. Tax exemption and global wealth creation. Very, very important. So with this, I've just covered whatever I want to cover. Now I'll take question answers for the next 15-20 minutes for whatever you want me to ask. Any questions? Seniors, juniors, ladies? Huh?
Hi. What would be one tip for the ladies here?
See, I would
what
say...
What would be the one tip for the ladies here?
I tell my daughter also, be financially empowered here. You should know the business. You never know where bad time hits you.
Sure.
I have had friends who got widowed early. You should know your business.
And in the investment part of it, for the ladies, what would be, of course we know SIPs and all of that, but top of your head, what would be the best investment?
I would say for the investment part of it, women are better wealth managers than men because they are more balanced. So sitting with your wealth advisor, understanding all the plans, reviewing all the plans, you have to involve yourself in everything. I actually think there is no ladies, it's a human.
Right. But
you have to empower yourself.
But the men don't look at us like that, I think. A lot of time it's said that you're maybe not rational, you're rushing into it, or you've not read enough.
No.
So I don't have too many ladies sitting here, but I'm sure that is the biggest deterrent for us women to not be in the
No, I don't think so.
Part of
I think the empowerment of YouTubes, the empowerment of social media is so strong. I can be an expert on any topic. So suppose I can send you 4 videos and then you don't need to have any training and you will be a financial wizard.
Please do.
Actually, it takes only 1 day to be a guru at anything.
Yeah.
So how to evaluate investments? If you just do it yourself, 4 Google videos, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, Vijay Kedia, take 4-5 and you will know it.
And also on that note, I'd like to share with you that just very recently I've downloaded Money Control.
Yes.
And everything that you spoke, I was at least clued in because
Correct.
for the past 4-5 days since the budget, I've been reading
Correct.
about it. And that's where AI really helps us, that everything is available on the internet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so please don't look at yourself as ladies. I think human.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Thank you.
And I think just empower yourself and do something which is what you like, but be clued down to your husband's, because it's a responsibility. See, take an example. If a company is there are 5,000, 6,000 people working in it. Sure. It can't go down the drain.
Yes.
There's so many families attached to it, right? So.
Yes. Thank you.
No, not mandatory. Not mandatory. It's optional.
If it is not listed, are there any difficulties that people face?
See, difficulties happens only in very rare cases, like, King of Jaipur, big wills where the contest happens. Regular wills don't get contested.
Why even this Sona Comstar will
Sona Comstar will is, sorry, I can't talk about it because I'm involved in that case. But those are 1 in 1 lakh. So don't look at the black swan. I think what I do is, what I tell is, suppose if I see you, if I have to do your will, I would say do a good will, sit with your children, sit with your wife, do a good will. When you sign the will, have a doctor with you that you were sane, not senile, and you signed it with your total, awareness. And also have good witnesses who are known people, have Gaurav, have 2 Gauravs, and credible people as a witness, and you're fine. Record that. So without registration, you can get to where you want to get to.
just one more question which is little different. So in the last 3 years since Trump started, the geopolitics has taken an upper place consideration in the business world. So how do you think world changing in the next 3 years till Trump is the president?
I think the world will change with Trump, without Trump. Actually, Trump is not a problem.
Geopolitics wise.
I think Trump is not a problem. Trump is not as silly as it looks. Behind Trump, there's a deep state. Deep state is what happened in Nepal. Deep state is what happened in Bangladesh. There's a deep state. So the deep state will create uncertainties, and this will happen throughout. Because see, today, if you saw the war between India and Pakistan, it was not a people war, it was a technology war. We were sending missiles, we were sending the drones. So it's all technology. Things will happen fast, will stop fast. So because of technology, AI, precision, good days will happen also very fast, bad days will happen also very fast. I would say, I think, like, I got married, I'm going to have 30 years of my marriage this month. I don't think my grandchildren will need to get married. Every aspect of life is changing. Every aspect. Businesses will have ups and downs, human behaviors will have ups and downs, relationships will have ups and downs, and it will come to a point that the person who can remain stable in the ups and downs will survive. So geopolitical will become more, I don't think 3 years, 1 year it will become more difficult. Because we had happy days, last Sunday was depression, markets crashed. Tuesday was euphoria. This Sunday is hope that, oh, now again the clarification has come. So now what do you say? Why 3 years?
A question regarding global happenings, impact on Indian business. In wake of these 2 FTAs, one with European Union and on heels of that, a treaty with the US, you think because treaty with European Union is having a lot of impact on our business, you feel that since the date has been for implementation has been given as next year, you think it will be fast-tracked?
I think so. I think it will be beneficial, it will be fast-tracked. You will see sooner announcements than because see, the 25% tariff is gone. Effectively, the penal tariff is gone. 18% has got reinstated. I think things will get fast-tracked because what I see, tomorrow also I am attending this 100 years of RSS, and we have a 100 years of RSS in Bombay, and Mohan Bhagat and Piyush Goyal are coming. They are interacting with people, they want to do things. There are opportunities, but how quickly you can run and evaluate that for yourself is upon you now. For me also as my business. If I don't change, my business will be wiped off in 3 years. Because whatever I spoke is AI. You put these topics like what are the 5 things worrying the world, they'll come out in ChatGPT. I have ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity. I have AI agents. I cross-check ChatGPT with Grok. No, it's a truth. It's a truth. I have AI agents. So I think there's a big opportunity, but there are threats also. This is not an opportunity to evaluate forever. You have to do it fast.
A second question regarding ITRs. I've been told that by the CA that the ITRs, those who have not filed, there is an exemption now. They can file for 1, 2, 3 years. If
Yes, yes, absolutely. There's a further looking stuff. There's enough and more facility to file it later if you've not filed it, which is helping. But I think those are all for the miscreants. People should file, yeah. Why should they not file ITRs and all?
Good evening, Rishi. This is regarding STT, increase in STT. The trading volume are likely to reduce because of the increase in STT in this current budget. But how would it impact the investors?
How will it impact the?
Investors, those are not traders, those who invest in the market. How would
No,
it
investors not relevant. Na? Investors don't do trading. Speculators, I would say. Speculators will trade less. But once you are addicted to speculation, you'll nonetheless trade. So like say cigarettes, if you see ITC cigarette duties keep increasing every year, but cigarette consumption also doesn't stop because the one who smokes, smokes. So the one who trades will trade. These are deterrents. It's a moral policy, I would say. So I don't think the volumes will go down. So if you see all this BSE stock, NSE stocks will bounce back. NSE will not do well because of euphoria. Anything which is euphoric always has a bad ending.
Good evening, sir. I just need an insight into the legal thing. How far the will which has been executed and registered in India, it holds good for transferring the global assets?
It is valid to transfer global assets, but what I tell clients is make different wills for different countries and attach all the wills in the respective countries to a mother will. So suppose it's in US, Australia, UK, Dubai, do 4 wills, and then India will say, for India, these are the things I want. I have also done 4 other wills which are attached here. So when you're filing for a probate in Australia or UK, you don't have to file all the wills. You can only file the UK bill.
So the mother will would be the place of citizenship or the residential?
Residency,
status?
where you have economic ties, I would say.
Okay, thank you.
Answer is yes. Yes, 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 yes. See, donation of organs, doing a living will, doing a living trust is a very mature way of thinking life. Rather than making life random and let your children figure out after you die. Then everything goes down the drain.
I think they were quite quick questions and quick answers. Generally takes a lot of time, but thanks to you for addressing so many. I think we should move forward with the day.
Thank you.
Please join us on the dais. Yeah, please. Thank you, Mr. Girish. I think it was quite insightful and a lot of takeaways, a very unique, different topic today. And I think we all benefited from something we were unaware. A lot of learning, and thank you, Mr. Munjal, for inviting Mr. Girish as a resource for the evening. May I now request Mr. Gaurav Munjal to provide his presidential remarks.
So thank you, Mr. Girish, for such a deeply insightful and a forward-looking address. I have known him for the last, I think, 10 years. And I think what he spoke today was truly amazing. They're very simple things, but very meaningful stuff. So your perspective today could not have been more timely. You helped us clearly understand how global developments Whether geopolitical shifts, economic realignments, or rapid technological transformation are no longer distant headlines, but forces that directly shape decision-making within Indian enterprise. For industry leaders, the message is clear. Resilience today demands anticipation, adaptability, and strategic clarity. Your analysis for the implications for Indian businesses was particularly valuable. In an environment where supply chains are evolving, cash flows are becoming more and more selective, and innovation cycles are accelerating, Indian companies have a unique opportunity to position themselves as globally competitive and future ready. Your remarks reminded us that success will depend on not just the scale, but agility, governance, and long-term thinking, and I think positive thinking. Equally important were the reflections on the budget 2026. You highlighted how policy directions, especially around infrastructure, technology, adaptation, manufacturing, and investment, can act as a powerful catalyst for growth. For business leaders, this is an invitation to align organization strategies with your national priorities, leverage emerging incentives, and invest in confidence in sectors where there is a great potential going forward. Perhaps the most enduring takeaway from your address was the emphasis on succession planning. I think a lot of things we were not aware of, and I think we should all go back and work on them, especially the wills and the live, what is it? Live living will. Yeah. So you framed it not merely a transition issue, but strategic pillar of an organization continually that is there for long term. Whether a promoter-led enterprise or professionally managed corporation, preparing the next generation of leaders is essential for stability, stakeholdership, confidence, and sustainable growth. Your insight serves as a strong reminder that leadership succession must be deliberate, structured, and embedded into governance frameworks. On behalf of LMA, I sincerely thank you for being here and sharing such practical experience-driven wisdom. Your address has provided industry leaders here with both perspective and direction, encouraging us to think beyond immediate challenges and prepare an organization for long-term resilience and growth. Ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward in our deliberations, let us carry these insights into our boardrooms, our strategies, and our leadership decisions. The future will favor organizations that are prepared, adaptable, and guided by thoughtful planning. On behalf of LMA, thank you for being here. He has to be in Chandigarh, so he will quickly eat his dinner and then leave. And if anybody is interested, please contact him or him. And I really suggest to get in touch with him. He's a great resource, and you've seen him today. He had come, I think, for the LMA. Yeah, you were there for, he was here for an LMA event, which was, again, superb event. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Munjal. May I now request Mr. Gaurav Jain, one of our office bearers, to facilitate the chief guest with the token of love. Can we also have Dr. Prem Kumar join us? Please, please. May I request Mr. Sandeep Jain, Senior Vice President, Ludhiana Management Association to give the formal vote of thanks, which will be followed by dinner.
On behalf of Ludhiana Management Association, my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Girish Vanvari for his insightful and engaging address. When I called it engaging, I saw that everyone was glued when you were talking because the topic was very relevant. So your perspective on basically more of on taxes, and also it gives a lot of clarity in ever-changing business. So when I was coming, I was just listening to one of your podcasts. So I'll just share an anecdote in which, I think with your permission, so he wanted to stood first rank in his inter-CA exams. So he studied that, how he can be a first rank. So he went to the library, he read many books, and also he studied that he need to score 500 marks to get the first rank. And in his inter, he got his first rank. Am I right? And then I'll just continue with this. Then he failed in his final exams. So that is unpredictability of CA. So because unfortunately his mother died and he could not prepare for the exam. But then he didn't want to pass that exam because he doesn't want to pass that exam with the ordinary marks. So he failed and he came back next year. If I rightly remember, he scored 556 marks, just short of 16 marks to score first rank again. He would have been one of the CA for first rank in the inter and first rank in the final exams. So there have been many takeaways. Well, Gaurav remained in the limelight in all the examples, but the examples are very useful. So some of the key takeaways which I think I've noted down. One was that the world is full of unpredictability, thanks to our President Trump, because every day the situation is changing, maybe because of Greenland, because of Venezuela, or because of so many things, or Iran, which is coming up. Even yesterday we had a meeting with US and Iran for upcoming nuclear program that they want to shelve it off. So anything can happen any day. So he talked about moat. It reminded me of one of the very good books of Peter Thiel, which is 0 to 1, where he clearly mentioned that to be ahead of everyone, you need to be 10x rather than 10%, and which is rightly mentioned about the Zomato, as it has the edge because it has something which others didn't have at that point of time. So he rightly gave examples of Singapore, where he mentioned about that in Singapore, people normally do the transactions and the government records each and every transaction, and then accordingly the citizens pay tax, and that can come to India also. And he rightly gave examples of Binny Bansal, Flipkart, and Tiger Global, where clearly even they went Singapore to evade taxes, but they could not evade it, as Indian government has all the AI integrated where it can catch all the transactions and definitely can. In the future, I think it is all the transactions are recorded, so we need to be very careful of that. And at the end, plenty of useful information, which I think he mentioned about will, clarity on living will, death by choice, trust, revocable trust, irrevocable trust, well, family offices, so many things. I think there is so many things to learn, and I would request Mr. Girish Vanvari to please share his presentation if he can, so that we can share it to all the members and everybody could benefit from that. And we deeply appreciate the time, the wisdom you shared with us. I'm sure that it would be a useful reference for a future strategic thinking. Thank you very much. I forgot to announce the dinner. You can do that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sandeep Jain. And I think all has been addressed and we are ready for dinner. Let's join and network. Thank you.